Thank you, everyone, for joining the webinar supported by the Zebrunner team. So I believe we could start our webinar, hope that more people could join us. So one more time, thank you very much for finding the time. So today we'll dedicate our time to understand better like how to manage your Cypress project effectively. Because the thing is that we know that it's very trendy to start building your test automation with Cypress framework. And I believe that everyone is okay that Cypress Dashboard is doing a very great job. Yeah, and helping test automation engineers. So the thing is that we wanted to share with you today like more knowledge about like how to improve your testing process, your test reporting analysis, failure analysis with help of maybe with Zebrunner, and how Zebrunner could be okay with using Cypress Dashboard as well, like what is the differentiators, so how to make better your life actually. So yeah, so let's try to define like let's try to define like what segment you are doing. Like let's imagine that maybe you have tried already the Cypress Dashboard, or let's say any other test reporting tools, and you understood that, okay, so yeah, I'm doing great with Cypress Dashboard, I can execute, I can analyze, but maybe I feel a little bit like feeling lack of functionality I can use. So, and I'd rather to try some of deep analysis with another test automation tool. So, or maybe you just started automation with Cypress framework and you want to start building the consolidated test reporting, let's say from scratch, and you do not have no idea like which solution to find out, like for which solution to trust, like how to start with this. So I believe that today will provide you a lot of information. Good. So let's try to understand better like what agenda for today do we have. So I'd offer you to understand better like how it's possible to embed Zebrunner in your Cypress project, how it's possible to get like a deep analysis of your failures, of your bugs that you found out with help of Cypress, how to automatically report your old test result, how to analyze them, so how to customize reports. So I believe that today we'll share with you a lot of useful information. Good. So, and as for our speaker, let me introduce Sergey. He's our expert in test automation at Zebrunner. So, and actually, like you could see that he's very experienced in test automation and actually had a deep knowledge in Cypress framework. And actually today, I believe Sergey could present like Zebrunner integration with Cypress. So he's a creator. So yeah, you will have a chance to talk to him, to ask many questions regarding your testing with Cypress as well. Good. So, and maybe just before starting with our webinar, I could share just a little of information about Zebrunner as well. So Zebrunner is a test automation management solution. So we position ourselves as platforms that can serve for businesses of all sizes and domain. And if we're talking about our mission, so we help to all people, to all engineers, quality managers, businesses to really start building a cost-effective quality assurance. And I hope we could provide you many useful information. So as for our timelines for today, we'll have with you 1 hour webinar. And as the first part, I believe Sergey, as our expert, could share like step-by-step information on how to start integration with Cypress and how to embed Zebrunner in your Cypress project. And then I believe that Alessia, as our customer success manager, could share you like actually how to use Zebrunner in your analysis. After integrating Cypress project in Zebrunner. So, and I believe that in the end we could share like feedback about like was it useful or not, like actually, so maybe any feedback about using Cypress in your life, less about the Cypress dashboard in any of your plans you will have after this. Good. So thank you very much. So I believe that I could let maybe Sergey to prolong our conversation. Thank you very much.
Yep. Hello, guys. Elvira, thank you for presentation. And yep, now let's. Uh, I will show you how to quickly integrate your Cypress project with Zebrunner. So let me share my screen. Okay. So can you see it, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So let's begin then. So first of all, to start integrating the tests, first of all, we need to have some Cypress-based project. And as you probably know, by default, when you generate new project on Cypress, it already has some set of predefined tests with examples of handling of different UI cases, processing of different elements, and so on. So I propose for integration to use just these sample tests, which by default are getting generated by Cypress. So I created a clean workspace on my local environment and integrated newly created folder into Visual Studio. So now I'm going just to follow the official website of the Cypress official documentation. Just will try to create new project first of all. So it's can be done by simply calling npm install Cypress. So opening new terminal window and generating new Cypress project. Okay, so as you may see, it created package lock and package.json files and downloaded required node modules. So now to get all the Cypress project metadata generated as well, I need to call Cypress open command so that Cypress will check the folder and will create all required files if they are missing in the project. Okay, so as you may see, this integration tests list contains predefined set of spec files created by Cypress, as I already mentioned this, and all of them are located here in Cypress integration folder inside of your project. Okay, so for now, I will close this window. So basically now we have this basic project which can be used for integration with Zebrunner. So now let's take a look at Zebrunner documentation. So at our official website, zebrunner.com, you may find article dedicated to Cypress integration, and it actually has all the steps which are needed in order to enable this integration. So the steps actually are pretty much straightforward. First of all, you need to install the JavaScript agent for Zebrunner by executing this command. So I'm just copying the command and executing it inside of my project. So right now it downloaded all the required dependencies for the agent. And next, we need to provide some additional configuration into our project. So first of all, we need to provide all required credentials and some properties for the integration. So here you may find again, in our official documentation, you may find the list of such properties, all the possible ones, with some short description, some explanation of what is the purpose of one or another property. And as you may find here, there are two parameters like the Zebrunner server URL and the Zebrunner access token. So you first of all will need to get these values from some place. And now to find these values, we are coming to the Zebrunner reporting portal itself. So after my part, Alessio will show more details regarding the Zebrunner and its useful features. So for now, we just assuming that we already created a new account as a Zebrunner, we are signed in here, and once you're signed in, you're actually getting to the test runs page by default. And also in Zebrunner, we have ability to split our tests per projects, and by default, you will have one project created for you. It's called default. And if you want to create a dedicated project for your stream on your project, for instance, you can create a completely new project in Zebrunner and track all the results in this dedicated project. So for this webinar, I created a new one. I called it a Cypress demo. And as you may see, there are no test runs at this moment, so it's a completely clean project, and we will use it for further tracking. Now, as I said, I need to obtain users' connection credentials for the Zebrunner, and to obtain them, I'm clicking account icon at the top right corner of the Zebrunner window and clicking account and profile link. Now from the section Zebrunner API access, I can get these required parameters for the integration. So first of all, let's get back to example of configuration. Let's copy all these properties and let's pass them into our Cypress JSON. So as you may find here in description, it said that all these properties should go into Cypress JSON configuration. So I'm just pasting these values here. So let's quickly go through all these properties. So first of all, we need to specify server host name. I will take the value from the Zebrunner configuration page. Copy the value and paste it here. So the next value is access token. So again, can so we get it from this page. So I generated a new one and making a copy. Pasting it here again. Okay, and now one more, excuse me, pretty important property, it's project key. So as you may see, by default, it's set as dev. I said that by default, Zebrunner creates a default project for every new account, and I created a dedicated project in Zebrunner. I called it Zebrunner demo, and it has alias CYPD. So I'm putting this alias into reporting project key parameter. Now, the rest of the properties are optional actually, but let's specify them just to see them tracked in the Zebrunner reporter. So this is run environment. It defines what environment you are testing. So it may be some development, production, staging environment. So let's put here dev to mention that we're, for example, testing development environment. Reporting run build, it's a version of the build of your application under the test. You can put here 1.0, for example. Reporting run display name, it will mean the name of the suite of your which you're executing, and by default, agent will use the root name of the spec file which you're executing. But if you want to put some custom name here, you can override it using this run display name property. So we can put here something like webinar demo tests, for instance. Reporting run locale by default, let's leave it as is in US, but if you're testing some other locations, you can put another values here. So it also later will be displayed in your test run once it's getting tracked. And the last parameter, reporting CI run ID, this property is completely optional, and as you may find in documentation, it's needed only to enable parallel execution of your run. So once you're, for instance, configured some CI tool to execute your spec files in parallel mode, so then to get them tracked properly with Zebrunner, you need to specify this reporting CI run ID. We will talk about it in more details at the end of my part of presentation. So for now, I'm just removing it from the configuration. So this is the first part of integration. We specified all the required parameters and then a couple more steps. So as it said here, we need to insert some configuration lines into index.js, common.js, and yeah, that's it. So let's go into Cypress plugins index.js and insert these mentioned lines. That will mean that we are passing the Cypress configuration into the agent so that it can process it and use for integrating with Zebrunner. Next part is adding of custom comments in the comments.js file. So we're going to support common.js and inserting this line as mentioned in documentation, saving the file. And the last part is to put this before method into the Cypress support index.js. So this actually register browser is this is a custom command which came from this common.js insertion, and it allows to provide information about what browser you're using for the run, and so that it can be tracked in Zebrunner properly. Basically, that is it for the default configuration, and we can try to execute some tests and see how they are integrated. So for this, I will call npx Cypress run, and let's define some particular spec file, not to run all possible ones, not to waste the time. So let's execute, for example, this basic one to do spec.js. Actually, there is one new issue appeared in the agent. So when the integration is getting configured at the first time, it might work not properly because of one file is missing in the project. So it came with the latest versions of Cypress, and it's tracked in GitHub, will be resolved, I think, next couple of days. So we will probably may face it right now, and I will show how to quickly fix it if you face it. So yeah, as you may see, it tracked the run, but at the end it said that file is missing, and due to that, run was not finished properly. As you may see it, it's still getting executed in Zebrunner. So just to quickly fix it, we need to create this worker log file in the project. So I'm adding a new folder and then creating a new file, worker, some debug logging of the agent. So sometimes it may be useful for analysis of possible issues with agent. So that is why it's needed. But yeah, if it's missing in the project for the first time, you may face such error in run finish registration. So now let's try to restart again, and then it should be good. But again, I think it will be fixed next couple of days. It's a quick one. When the agent is running, it logs all the details of the execution. Yeah, so as you may see, this time everything passed properly. So let me delete this first run with the issue, and here our logged execution of our test. So as you may see here, there is a custom run name, which was specified over the properties, location, version of the application under the test, environment, browser which was used for execution, and statistics of your run. So amount of passed, failed, skipped tests, duration, and then the list of the tests. So we can open any of the tests from the list and see some more details for each test. It contains such details page contains source code of your test and also details about your browser, like operation system, browser version, and some other metadata for your run. So now let's try to add some more metadata in our tests so that we will get more information in Zebrunner after the run. So what I want to do, so you may find such feature as tracking of test maintainer and integration with test management tools. So let's add details about test owner to show you how it's getting tracked in Zebrunner. Let's go in our spec file, and as it's mentioned in the example, let's copy this JSON part. So it's just needed to be put in the it method. So in every test method which you want to connect with, provide with metadata, you just need to copy and paste such JSON. So it's kind of optional parameter, but provided in such way, it will be tracked in Zebrunner. So owner, and the owner should be the username of your user in Zebrunner. It's important to provide valid username, because if it's missed in the Zebrunner system, then it won't be tracked properly. So as you can see, by default, if we haven't specified some user, it shows the run as test is executed by anonymous user. So now let's put valid owner into every test. Sorry, I put it into describe. I need to put it into every it which I want to tag with valid owner. And another thing, let's attach labels related to test trail runs, for instance. Let's imagine that you have your test described in test trail system. So to do this, we just need to add a metadata same way as we did it for the owner, but this time by providing test trail test case ID. So let's put it just in one test to show how it's getting tracked. Okay. And one more thing, let's make one test failing intentionally, just to see how a failed test is displayed, how it shares artifacts for the failure. So for that, let's change some expected value just to get it failing one of the tests. And let's try again. This time we can put browser as Chrome, for example. Okay, so we see that a new run has been registered here in Zebrunner. This time it's showing Chrome as browser for execution. And we see that this time one test failed. Let's take a look at the test list. So as I said, now every test has its owner, valid owner this time. So you could put any team member here to attach it as the label of owner for every test. And also you may see that it shows test trail ID as possible ID of case related to this particular test method. So once you have integration with test trail enabled in Zebrunner, it will be displayed as a link, so you can get the details of your test just hovering this link. But since integration is disabled at this moment, so it's showing just a simple label. But again, it adds more visibility, and this integration is quite useful if you use such test management tools as test trail. Now let's quickly take a look at failed test. So again, it has logs of not logs, but source code of your test. And in addition to this, it has a screenshot of the browser at the moment when test failed. That is the first artifact, and another one is the video of the execution. So it by default, the Zebrunner agent attaches the video of execution of failed spec file only for the failed tests. So by default, it's not adding videos for past results, just only for the failures. So this is the difference with past tests. So additional artifacts are getting tracked in this case. What else can be said about configuration? So there is possible option to set configuration for important parameters over environment variables. So not using the Cypress JSON, but for example, if you are executing tests on CI, for instance, you may want to specify these values right on your CI tool level, not in repository, because it's a bad practice to put your credentials, your tokens right in the repository. So to achieve this, to set up configuration over environment variables, you can quickly add new environment variable, which you want to use later, and then it will be parsed and used for the integration. So for example, let's export, for example, access token variable here as environment variable. So again, I'm getting to account and profile. copying the token, pasting it here, and this time let's remove reporting service access token property from the Cypress JSON. And let's run. Getting back to the test results page. So as you may see, results are getting executed. So that means that integration was successfully set up, even if we missed the access token inside of Cypress JSON. But instead of this, we specified it over environment variables, and everything was tracked properly. So that is more or less it for configuration, and a couple of words about parallelized runs. So as I said, to enable parallelized runs on your CI level, you just need to follow official guides of Cypress from the Cypress documentation. And if you're integrating your runs with Zebrunner, you just need to put this reporting CI run ID property, so you can use it as generated value for your every run, and so that even if tests are getting executed parallelly, everything will be tracked in just a single run in Zebrunner. So even if you execute 10 spec files at once, everything will be tracked as only a single run in Zebrunner. So this is like concept of Zebrunner, one run, one result. I mean, one run result in Zebrunner. So even if there are more than one spec file, same thing works for parallel execution. So as it said here, we tested such execution approach with Cypress Dashboard enabled in parallel. So as you probably know, integrating with Cypress Dashboard enables parallelized runs. Also, there are a couple of free solutions, analogs of the Cypress Dashboard, like Cypress, possibly you heard about it. So it should work. It should track the results in Zebrunner with such tools properly as well. And we have plans to provide our own service for parallel execution with Zebrunner. So in this case, you will not need to add additional integration like with Cypress Dashboard for parallelization or other tools. So we are working on this solution, and hopefully it will be ready quite soon. So probably that's it from my side. Thank you for listening.
Yeah, thank you, Sergey, for such a great explanation of the Cypress integration. So I'm a customer success manager at Zebrunner, and today I'll show you actually what features for test analysis and test reporting differ Zebrunner from such tools as Cypress Dashboard, other open source solutions that you may currently use. So actually, just let me share my screen. Yes. So let's probably go inside the tool and see what's going on there. So Sergey showed how to configure the integration with Cypress But after you configure this integration, it's surely important to have great features for test analysis that can automate this process, that can save you much time on manual activities like classifying the failures, like creating the bugs and detecting them and learning how to fix them. So with Zebrunner, you actually not only get an ability to analyze tests, you get the ability to automatically classify failures with our AIML that I will show you just now. You get the real-time customized dashboards that allow you to track your project performance from different angles. Moreover, Zebrunner provides the features for test analysis like test ownership that Sergey already showed you, and test history that allows you to control the testability, identify the flaky tests. Moreover, Zebrunner is not only a solution for test reporting and analysis, it's also a great tool for managing several projects. So you see that we are now at the Cypress project that Sergey created for this webinar, but there are much more projects here. So let's suppose that you work in different testing teams and you need to manage your members, your test runs in one workspace. So Zebrunner actually provides this great opportunity. You can create as much projects as you can within your pricing plan, and be really flexible in managing your team members, in setting up different integrations for different testing teams. This really simplifies all of the process of quality assurance. So today I'll show you how this is actually performed with Zebrunner. So let's go to another Cypress project where we have much more tests executed, so that it could be easily visible to you how Zebrunner simplifies your life. So we are now on the test runs project that have all the information about your test run. So it's actually a grid with all your test runs that you execute during your using Zebrunner. Yeah, so if we go inside, we'll see great features for test and analytics. Yeah, so Sergey already showed you that for every failed test, there are stack traces. There is the ability to view the test owner, and there is the ability to track the test trail integration. So one of the questions that was asked in the chat was about a real-time syncing of test results with test trail and some different systems like X-Ray, Zephyr, that you may use for test case management. So with Zebrunner, it's actually possible. As soon as your tests are executed in Zebrunner, they're automatically synchronized with your test cases in test trail in real time, so you don't have to wait till your test is finished. Moreover, Zebrunner, thanks to the integration with test trail, allows to see the preview of your actual test cases. So in this project, this integration is configured so we can see it. So you see the preview of the actual test case from your test trail. Sorry. So you can see what test cases are connected with this exact test in Zebrunner. So that really simplifies all of the things. The same possibilities available for X-Ray, as I said, and Zephyr, Scale, and Squad. Moreover, someone asked in the chat as well about the integration with Jira. So for now, integration with Jira allows you to link your tests to known issues in Jira. So for example, let's see how it works. So as soon as you detect a failed test and you see its tag trace, you can link it to some of the issue that you have in Jira. So just by providing the ID or the summary. So for example, let's find some, yeah, so you can just choose it from the list. Yes, and link. And all of the history of all the linkings is displayed here. So you see when and who assigned this or that the issue to your test. Moreover, a new update is that you can create a new issue in Jira right from Zebrunner. So I won't show like all of the process, but let's see. So you can just choose your project in Jira, choose the issue type, for example, let it be a bug, and provide the summary, provide some of the descriptions, some of the additional information that you have there, press create and link, and your Jira bug will be created. So you don't have to go to Jira for that. Moreover, one of the greatest updates, you are actually one of the first people to learn about this great update is our AIML classification of failures. So you see this red tag with an exclamation mark and the classified type of issue. So our Zebrunner AI automatically classifies what type of issue it is by checking your stack traces on the basis of your stack traces. And what's really great is that our AIML can be trained, and it should be trained by your team. So as soon as the system classifies what type of failure it is, so it can be a business issue, it can be a locator issue, an infra issue, it sets the accuracy with which it was able to classify it, and you as a test automation engineer can train your this network on the basis of your stack traces. So you can put a like or a dislike. So if you agree with this classification, you just set like and save it. Yes, this sign accepted by some of the user appears. So you see that. So for example, if some of your colleagues did that before, you see that this category was already reviewed and you don't have to do it, or yeah, or you can disagree with it by choosing another category, and all of these actions will be tracked. So if you, for example, after searching the stack trace and disagree, you can choose another type, press save. And again, so all of these actions will be tracked. So all of this is performed automatically, but you can train it. And the more tests you execute, the more you classify, the more accurate your AIML is. So let's go inside. And yeah, Sergey already showed you what's inside the tests, the test details page. So these are the logs, the statues, the visuals, if there are some. Yeah, they're getting uploaded. Yes, some reason, yeah, maybe my computer is not so good. But still, let's see it on another example. So this is the test history that I told you about. So you see that Zebrunner tracks the last 10 executions of all of your tests. So of this particular test actually. So for example, you see that 21 days ago, this exact test was passed. Yes, and you can actually check what were the difference, what changed, whether the duration of it changed, whether some of the logs changed as well. So all of this can be easily tracked with Zebrunner, and you'll never get lost. You'll never lose the sight of your test automation. So after analyzing your separate tests, it's really important, especially for QA managers, to understand how your project is doing. So for this, we created the dashboard. These are actually the pages that contain the information about your QA process. And you see, this is one of the real projects that we use for testing our Zebrunner. And each of the dashboards can be dedicated to special processes. So you can check only failures and defects, you can check the pass rate, you can see how you go with your test cases and see the test summary. So for example, if we go to the pass rate dashboard, it's really very representative. So you see all of the details. You can understand how you performed in a certain period of time. You can check the pass rate calendar and see when your pass rate was big, when it was good or not. So you can check how you did with different kinds of tests. So yes, that demonstrates you all of your sides of test automation. If we go to another dashboard about failures and defects, let's see another dashboard. So it's the dashboard dedicated to test cases. So with this dashboard, you can track how many tests you were able to execute, to build, to automate. So you can see all of the transparent process of test automation, understand how you go for each month. So yes, the number of dashboards and widgets is unlimited. We don't limit you to some of the number, it's all up to you. Yes, so what's more, actually the ability to integrate with a great number of third-party tools. So if you, together with Cypress, use some of the testing platform like Browser Stack, Source Labs, Lambda Test, that's really easy to integrate with them as well. So I already showed you the integration with TestRail, with Jira. So all of this is configured for every project. Yes, and is available for admins of the workspace. So you can actually set the configuration with Slack and Microsoft Teams and other notification tools to get constant updates of your tests, how your tests perform. Yeah, so you see in this list the Cypress integration that leads to the documentation that Sergey already showed you. Yes, and you can also integrate with Jenkins if you use it for test automation. So all of this is easy to configure. Yes, so on our website you see you can see the whole list of integrations and the integrations that we are actually planning to implement. So if you see that your integration is coming soon, you can like speed up this process by sending us a request. So yes, I guess this was a quick overview from my side. So now I guess we can switch on to the questions and answers session. So yes, let's do that.
Yeah, very nice. So that's cool. Thank you, Alyssa. Thank you, Sergey. So, and I believe I have just a little, at least like 10 minutes to start our Q&A session. So if you have any questions regarding your Cypress project or using Cypress Dashboard or any wish to try Zebrunner integration with Cypress, like feel free to share feedback or ask us any questions. So we'll be ready to answer you. Okay, we already got some questions, earlier in our chat. So please, if you want to share any question, you can write in our chat here in Zoom, or you can just like open your microphone and start talking. Feel free.
Yeah, just since nobody is asking, I will just comment some questions previously sent in the chat box. So yeah, for additional artifacts, so as I demonstrated, by default, we are posting a screenshot for the failure and a video of spec execution for the failure as well. Later, we have plans to provide ability to attach extra screenshots in place you need it, and some kind of logs of the execution. It's also planned to implement later. And for test rail integration, yeah, by default, if all the configuration are specified properly, then Zebrunner will update test results in test rail automatically. So in parallel with your execution on your environment, the run will be updated by Zebrunner automatically. And after it's finished, you can get the test run, new test run, tracked in test rail as well.
Okay, thank you, Sergey. Good. So maybe somebody wants to ask any question. I'll provide any feedback on all the steps for configuring Cypress framework, or any feedback for Zebrunner, like whatever, any question for Cypress project, for using Cypress Dashboard, feel free to ask us. Okay, so maybe you need some time to just think about any questions maybe you have. So I can add just maybe some information that our goal, as we decided to present to you today, is that you, as a representative of the engineers who are building the test automation with Cypress framework, or maybe you're right now using Cypress Dashboard, so that just to give you a chance to use any additional software for your task reporting necessity, for analyzing better, for having the access to the customizable reports, or also for having the access to the infrastructure for scalable engine, to run your test, like to do all the things inside one tool. So that was our idea, to provide you like more choice, for finding any other tool for your Cypress project. Good. So, and the thing is that, I believe that we plan to share the video recording of this webinar with you. So that will be very, very nice if you could, check Zebrunner, or maybe write us on our support email if you had. If you have any question or any feedback, we'll be very ready and very happy to get any questions or any feedback. And anyway, please feel free to come visit our landing page and maybe try Zebrunner as well. So we have a trial version. Actually, if you want to have any dedicated demonstration, I mean, regarding your Cypress project, how to migrate or how to embed the Cypress project into Zebrunner, how to easily start. So feel free to contact us. So we'll be happy to help you with this. Okay, great. So yeah, thank you very much. So if you do not have any question right now, so that's okay. Don't worry about this. So yeah, so hope to hear from you. And actually, from time to time, we hold many more webinars. So feel free to maybe follow the Zebrunner profile in LinkedIn or Twitter, Facebook. So we'll be inviting you to. Yeah, we'll inviting you to our demonstration of webinars as well. Yeah. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you. Thank you for joining us and take care.
Thank you, guys.